Hey Brian, how you doing? Okay, got your work up here, and it looks like you kind of tried to kind of work in what was missing from last week into this week, and that's awesome. That's a really good idea, I think. So let's take a look at what we have. I read your writing, and everything makes sense, I think. Except I want to talk about the pictograms because I have a comment on those I think might make sense to you. But anyways, all right, your logos themselves I think are good. Now we talked about these last week. We talked about presumably these are your final three logos. So presumably these are the depictions of your final three. Well, see, I don't know what all this stuff is doing here, so I'm not real sure what to comment on. You've got 6 logos here, and you've got 3 sketches. So I'm guessing those are the final logos, but it's just hard to say. Okay, so anyways, you got your 3 final drawings. That's great. Let's look at the logos. Let me see. One would be the whale. I would stay away from realistic depictions of Alaskan scenes for your logo. I don't think logo design is about depicting a scene. I think it's about depicting an idea, you guessed it, a sign or symbol, so to speak. Okay, so depicting visual scenes, I don't think is effective in this assignment. That takes that out. Okay, it leaves us with these and that out. Okay, so it leaves us with, I wonder if those are the 3. Okay, so anyways, so I think that when I mentioned last week, my comments were that I think this shape right here is very strong and very suitable for a logo. I would definitely remove the mountains though, because then again, you're getting into this kind of scene, showing these scenes. Okay. Let me see this logo right here. The shape is wrong. I really think the shape is wrong. If you can work on the shape, I think the logo is very cool. I think that the feather indicating the bird is really a good idea. I'm not real sure about the shape though. Now, remember, this has to be placed on so many different things. So think about the shape and think about the ability to place something shaped like this. Versatility of placing an object shaped like that as opposed to placing an object something like that. And I hope that makes sense. Okay, for example, the shape of that as opposed to the shape of that. Okay? So you're free to move in whichever direction, since I'm not really positive exactly what your final choices are or where you're going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and say one thing I would highly recommend is don't do anything with the Olympic rings, placing them near things. Again, in graphic design, you have this basic rule with all logos that you have a clear distance where you're allowed to place things. Typically, you're not allowed to place things really super close to a logo, including something like the Olympic rings, in the bird's beak. That's something the International Olympic Committee would say, no, we do not compromise the logo like that. Okay? Other than that, okay, pictograms. I think the pictograms look awesome. I really do. One comment on the pictograms, though, is that you're doing a one-size-fits-all here. So again, in graphic design, you have a logo or an element that you're designing collateral material from. Typically, what you want to do is take a look at the physical and visual attributes of that logo and apply them to the pictogram. So in other words, one size doesn't fit all with pictograms. Do you see what I'm saying? You should take visual and physical attributes out of this logo, develop a set of pictograms. Take the same take the visual and physical attributes out of this logo and develop a set of pictograms based on them so that the logo fits with the pictograms, so to speak. Okay, and basically that's where I'm at. Good job, man. Good job pulling this together and getting last week's missing items into here. I'm fine with that. That's cool. Good job. Thanks, Brian.